qualification for Brazil 2014 is now underway, and it's been another bumper night of action in the European groups. Freshly crowned Euro 2012 champion Spain began their defence of the World Cup with a voyage east to Georgia. Neighbours Portugal were looking to build on their tight opening victory over Luxembourg when they faced Azerbaijan. The powerful Dutch were keen to make an impression in Hungary, while Serbia had a home tie against Wales following their point in Scotland. And the rapidly emerging Belgium side tonight faced a test of their true credentials with a visit from Croatia. All the key action from across the groups is coming your way. And our roundup begins in qualifying Group I with Spain's opening foray into this World Cup. Vicente Del Bosque's all-conquering side faced a long trip to Tbilisi to face Georgia, who've already won their own opening encounter against Belarus. Commentary comes from Ben Andrews.
Joy from open play yet. What about the shabby corner? Ramos is up. It's the first proper effort on target of the night, and Loria has saved it. And it was a pretty comfortable one too, his first action. David Silva, room for the strike, and it's a good one. Loria was beaten that time, but it's back off the upright. Spain can't break through with the usual close quarters, but that was a good effort. Silva. Iniesta cutting in. Seen that so often. Iniesta again to Xavi. Now he tries his luck from distance, and that was a good save. Certainly heading in. Loria's getting busier as this half goes on, but it's all from long range at the moment. Georgia almost halfway to a very famous result here, but Soldado's in! Oh, he's denied by a top save. Loria stood up well. And second time around as well. Right on half-time, a double stop from the hometown keeper, and this was the best of the bunch to deny Soldado. Iniesta second time around. There, Georgian foray. They can keep the ball for a bit. They might have more of a chance. Kizanishvili to Kasia. Neatly done. And danger at the back for Spain for once. Amisulashvili off the post. And Georgia nearly erupted there. 2 inches away from glory. Jordi Alba. Still Spain struggle to get through. There's Alba. Oh, the angle was tight and always against him. Loria, the keeper's in trouble here. Just a bit too much weight on the pass in the end. Perhaps a corner was the best that Jordi Alba could have hoped for. Soldado! And Tbilisi falls into stunned silence. They were 4 minutes away from a famous 0-0, but Spain, who always seem to find a way to goal, have finally found a way to goal, and it's the substitute Fabregas who's teed up Soldado here. The marking's been so tight all night long. Just for a moment, Georgia have let it slip, and the world champs are in front. Soldado's fourth in just 6 appearances. Suddenly now, it's Georgia who want the added time to continue. One last big hurrah up front. Sibiladze with the shot, and that's a really good block from Sergio Ramos. There's a high foot anyway. Might have been a penalty in the build-up to this too, but it's not going to be Georgia's night. For a long time we thought it would be, but Spain have just about found a way to win. Sibiladze could have been the local hero. And there it is. The world champs have done it, but only just. For a while we were looking at a scoreline that really would have taken everyone in football by surprise. But in the end, they broke down a stubborn Georgian defence and Spain have the points.
So the world champions are up and running in Group I, perhaps not all that convincing, but a 1-0 win in Tbilisi. And France, rather more impressive, 3-1 victors over Belarus in Paris. Franck Ribéry among the scorers, and they lead the way after 2 games.
In Group D, both the Dutch and Hungarians opened their accounts with convincing opening game wins against Turkey and Andorra respectively. Tonight they met in Budapest. Dutch coach Louis van Gaal was looking for goals to establish Holland's position as group favourites. Could his strikers deliver the goods in Budapest? Commentary comes from Gary Taphouse.
Even on the team sheet an hour ago, replaced the injured Arjen Robben, and he's on the score sheet straight away here. Great cross by Luciano Narsing. Now here goes Koeman. Gira, who goes down, referee says penalty. A dynamite start here in Budapest. A yellow card coming out here as well for Klasia. Well, it's soft, but there is contact on Gira. Zuzak, who played for 3 years in the Netherlands, equalises, sparking wild scenes of celebration here. His 10th goal for Hungary. Oh, well played, Willems. He's brought down by Korczmar, yellow card. Great run here from Jetro Willems, the teenage fullback. Sneijder to take the free kick. Oh, free header for Martins! His first goal for his country, and how easy was this? Sneijder's ball in. Oh, there's no one around him at all. Where was the marking from Hungary? Van Schaak. In by Koeman. Martins. Klasia. Well, allowed to run a long way, and it's on target from Jordi Klasia. Sneijder over the ball once again. Oh, he's gone for goal there, which is ambitious considering the last time he took a free kick, his side scored. Good start to the second half by the Dutch, looking to consolidate their advantage here. Klasia. Sneijder. Oh, that ricochets nicely for Lens! Well, there's a touch of good fortune about it. Jeremy Lens isn't complaining. Comes off the head of Elek, straight into the path of Lens. And he doesn't miss. Lens, brilliantly done. We'll try to tee up Strootman. Here's Sneijder. Oh! Fabulous strike off the frame of the goal. Huntelaar trying to set up Van Rijn. What a hit this was from Wesley Sneijder. Look at the movement on that. It's been seized upon by Narsing. The free kick's been given. More sloppy defending from Hungary here. It's taken quickly. It's Lens on a hat-trick. and it's Huntelaar! That seals it. How unselfish from Jeremaine Lens, who could have bagged a treble. Instead, he set up Klaas-Jan Huntelaar for his 33rd goal for his country.
Moving into Group D now, the match between Romania and Andorra at the National Stadium. Romania dominating possession. They'd beaten Estonia 2-0 on Friday, and they started well here, although unable to take advantage. Cyprian Marica, decent save from the Andorra goalkeeper Jose Gomez, and it was to prove a busy evening for the visiting keeper. They held out for barely 29 minutes. Nice little pass and move from Romania, and eventually a fine shot perfectly placed into the corner by Toia, who'd scored in that win against Estonia on Friday, and he's establishing himself as a scoring midfielder for his country. 8 now in just 21 games. It's a very impressive strike rate, and no more than Romania had deserved. A dominated proceedings. This is the third meeting between the sides. Romania, unsurprisingly, had won the previous two as well, and they were 2-0 up before the break. Andorra initially thought that they'd cleared the danger, not once but twice, but the clearance only went as far as Lazar, who finished with real authority from the edge of the penalty area, his first international goal, and it just gave the Romanians a nice cushion just a minute or so before the interval. Andorra have only won one competitive match in 12 years. They conceded twice more. The first a little unfortunate for goalkeeper Gomez. It was Gaman's header that hit the post and then went over the line via the goalkeeper's body. This, as you can see, in the last minute of the game, it's one for the dubious goals panel. I suspect it'll be credited as a Gomez own goal. They rather lost their concentration immediately after that, Andorra, and conceded again in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. Substitute Alexandru Maxim with a fine individual goal. An excellent way to mark your scoring debut for your country. 4-0 Romania, the final score in Bucharest, and it's 6 points out of 6 for the Romanians. Well, also in Group D tonight, Turkey met Estonia, this in Istanbul. Turkey had lost 2-0 to the Netherlands on Friday. Great early chance to Yilmaz, all on his own, but spooned it wide. Just 7 minutes on the clock. Gonal with a perfect through ball. Goalkeeper did all he could. Estonia didn't offer too much, but almost took the lead 10 minutes in. Limper racing away. The ball somehow bobbles past everyone and hits the outside of the post, but Limper absolutely convinced he should have had a penalty. He thought he was the meat in the sandwich between the two Turkish defenders, Gonal and Toprak. Estonia also beaten on Friday by Romania. And this was a turning point in the game. Jaeger dismissed a straight red card for the foul on Yilmaz. At this point they thought the blood was against them, the Estonians. Referee from Poland, Martin Borski, and from the free kick it was an excellent save. Yilmaz took it, and Pareko in the Estonia goal was equal to it. Now here's another case for goal line technology. 3 minutes before the break, and the shot appeared over the line. Yilmaz with the effort, the referee said no. The replay shows Turkey very unlucky. These arguments just rage and rage. No question of a foul. As we stop it there, quite clearly the Turks got unlucky. However, they were to go in at half-time ahead after their best player of the night and one of their most experienced, Emre, burst through and finished with real aplomb. It's only his 9th international goal in nearly 90 appearances for his country. Smashed in. Into the second half now, and the Turks going 2 goals ahead just before the hour. Excellent near-post header this from Bullet. His third goal for his country, the Galatasaray striker. Sarara credited with the assist. And Turkey got a third 15 minutes from the end. Lovely back heel coming up there from Turan. Kaldrin pulls it back. And a comfortable finish for Inan. Turkey back to form with a vengeance after a somewhat unfortunate defeat against the Dutch on Friday. Turkey 3, Estonia 0, the final score in Istanbul. So let's check how things stand in Group D. We've seen that convincing win for Romania and indeed for Turkey. The Dutch, as we saw, they won 4-1 in Hungary. So Romania and the Dutch joint leaders as we go into October's matches.
Meanwhile, in Group A, Serbia were looking to bank 3 points at home to Wales, following a goalless draw with Scotland over the weekend. Chris Coleman's Wales team were equally in need of a positive result following their disappointing defeat to Belgium. But an away trip to Novi Sad is a tough proposition if Serbia are on song. Commentary from Dan Mason.
Two sides still very much in transition under their new coaches. Wales still looking for their first goal under Chris Coleman. They're on the defensive here. Here's Ivanovic, shoved in the back by Simon Church. And that is going to be a free kick right on the edge of the box. Church not impressed, but he did have hands in the back of Ivanovic. Here comes Kolarov then. He scores for Serbia. 15 minutes on the clock, and Alexander Kolarov gets his first goal for his country. Nothing Myhill could do about that one. Kolarov has made an impressive start to this game. Has come back to track him. Kolarov's beaten him. Still he goes on Kolarov. He rides a third challenge. Still Kolarov saved by Myhill. And it's in for a second goal. It's Zoran Tosic who's got it. What an incredible run that was from Kolarov. Wales could not stop him. He's ridden 4 tackles there and got a shot in. It fell nicely for Tosic, who makes it 2-0 Serbia. Wales with an absolute mountain to climb now. Not won by Darcy Blake. Well, that's got to be a free kick. Milan Vucevic climbing all over Gareth Bale, despite his protests. Now Wales need something from this set piece. Here comes Bale. Oh, they've got something from the set piece. Gareth Bale scores. Big moment for Wales. 30 minutes on the clock, and Chris Coleman's side are right back in this contest. Forward once again. Oh, misjudgment. It's led in Tadic. Wales look to the assistant referee, but the flag stays down for Jurisic, who scores a third for Serbia. They've restored their 2-goal cushion. Filip Jurisic, I think, just about timed his run right onto Dusan Tadic's pass. It's more poor defending from Wales. Vaughan, oh, he was caught in possession, and then Bale gave it away. Oh, Wales are not learning from their mistakes here. Here's Tadic. It's the 4th goal for Serbia, and the one man who really deserved it has got on the score sheet. It was a terrific run from Ivanovic, and Dusan Tadic, who has been the outstanding player for Serbia, has grabbed his first goal in a red shirt. Good-looking corner. And still they can't clear Wales. Blake is there now. Oh, but he's caught in possession. Here is Ivanovic. 5-1. And Branislav Ivanovic, the Serbian skipper, continues his goal-scoring start to the season with club and country. Great hit from Ivanovic. But once again, what were Wales thinking? Suleimani. He's made
the impact he would have liked so far. Markovic, Tadic wants it back. It's back in for Suleimani, who goes for goal. Oh, it's 6! Miralem Suleimani gets it, and Wales are heading for their biggest defeat in 16 years. It is Serbia 6, Wales 1. What a performance this is from Serbia.
Well, with the greatest of respect to both Serbia and Wales, the more likely qualifiers from Group A met in Brussels. Belgium and Croatia, both highly fancied to do well in this campaign, and they both started with victories on Friday night. But it was the visitors, Croatia, who struck first here, and really very early, just 5 minutes in. The cross from Nikita Jelavic, who scored their winner against Macedonia and was introduced to the starting lineup. And in the end, it was finished off by Ivan Terzic. Poor Belgian defending, as we'll see, and Igor Stimac's side were in front. Luka Modric with the ball down the line, in came the cross, and it fell very nicely to Terzic, who made no mistake. Perhaps Thibaut Courtois could have done a little better. Certainly that was true of the whole Belgian defence, and they were behind very early. But they pegged it back in first half stoppage time in quite some style. What a strike that is from Guillaume Gillet. His first goal for his country. He's the only player in the Belgian side who is still playing for a home club, the Anderlecht player. And that really was quite a hit. The corner had been swung in by Dries Mertens. It wasn't really dealt with. Strinic with the poor header. But a fantastic strike, took a little deflection, but still so much power on it. And Guillaume Gillet had his first goal for his country, and they were back on terms at half-time. In an increasingly tight game, both sides created chances in the second half. Belgium perhaps with the best of them. Axel Witsel with some real trickery, pulled it back for Christian Benteke. But the block on the line was made by the hugely experienced Croatian defender Josip Simonic to deny the home side the lead. In the great scheme of things, neither side will be too disappointed with this result. They're both fancied to lead the way in this section, as I said. But Croatia continued to push hard. Strinic with the cross, getting past Marin Fellaini, and Mario Mandzukic heading wide under pressure from the defender. And Croatia had the final chance of the game in the last minute, and what a good one this was. Fell to the defender Domagoj Vida, who steered a golden chance wide for Croatia to snatch the win. Instead, it finished one apiece in Brussels. And that's how Group A looks. Serbia with that huge win over Wales, 1-1 in Brussels, and Scotland needed a goal from Kenny Miller to salvage a draw at home to Macedonia. So Serbia and Belgium and Croatia lead the way. It already looks tough for the two British sides.
Well, Bulgaria drew with Italy on Friday night in their Group B opener and fully expected to take the 3 points against Armenia. They started brightly. Vladimir Gadchev with the cross. Ivanov's header, though, was over the Partizan Belgrade man. Should have done better, perhaps. Armenia were restricted to long-range efforts and only 2 or 3 chances over the course of the first 45 minutes. On this occasion, a wicked deflection nearly gave Mkhitaryan the opening goal. Ivanov got something on it. It slid into the side netting. Just before half-time, though, the breakthrough for Bulgaria. They were so good against Italy. And with Armenia stretched at the back, the cross eventually came in from Popov, and Manolev from close range could hardly miss. He netted against Italy in the 2-2 draw. This was just his second international goal, his 26th appearance. 2-2 for Manolev after terrific work from Popov on the left-hand side. Mazy run that was turned in from close range, he could hardly miss. The action in the second half didn't centre around goals, unfortunately, but it centred around red cards. 20 minutes remaining, some pushing and shoving inside the Bulgarian penalty area. The substitute Marcos was involved, and eventually the referee separated a whole clutch of players from both sides and produced 2 red cards. First for the Brazilian-born player Marcos, and then to Diakov, who received a second yellow. He received his marching orders as well, and both sides were down to 10. Then Armenia went down to 9. They were chasing the game at the time. The second Armenian player to go was the number 10 Gevorg Gaizerian, for firing the ball at the Bulgarian bench. Sent off for the first time in his career. The Metal Donetsk player did not finish the match. Bulgaria finished the brighter, but they couldn't add to their tally. They should have, though, very late on. Poor effort from the substitute Rankolov, meaning that Bulgaria have the points, but just a narrow success in the end. So Bulgaria's win over Armenia and Italy's 2-0 success over Malta means that both Italy and Bulgaria have 4 points. Italy are at Armenia in their next fixture.
Over this evening in Group H and hoping to build on their 2-2 draw in Montenegro. The Moldovans were looking for an improved defensive display following their 5-goal capitulation at home to England. So could they perform better in Wroclaw against the recent Euro 2012 hosts? Mark Tompkins watched this one.
Here comes the free kick, curled in and just tipped over the bar. I think Titan may have got a touch to that. Really good effort from Suvorov. Closest we've come to a goal so far for Moldova. Good save. Plenty of players over for Poland. Now, was that a foul by Patrash? Indeed it was. Lukas Piszczek goes down in the penalty area. And Poland, who've worked hard to create openings in this game, have got themselves a penalty. There's an arm on the shoulder from Patrash. The referee was perfectly placed. Lovely weighty ball back by the captain, Błaszczykowski. And a chance for him to score from the penalty spot and put Poland in front. Goalkeeper guessed right, but the man who scored against Montenegro on Friday and against Russia in Euro 2012 now has a goal in World Cup qualifying at home. Jakub Błaszczykowski puts Poland in front. Kovalchuk. Nicely done, chance for Pikus. Oh, he's put it wide. Pikusha didn't catch it right at all. And that's a glorious opportunity for an equaliser. Lovely ball over the top by Kovalchuk. Raku onto his weaker side, but he still gets a good shot away, and Titan watched it, and it wasn't too far wide. Well, they've made life really difficult for Poland, Moldova. They've shown that they've managed to create chances. Player over here. It's a lovely ball through to Sabata. The whistle's gone. It's a late flag on the far side as the ball hits the underside of the bar from the substitute. That's the right decision. He's just gone a fraction too early. But the flag, as you see, was very, very late. Lewandowski, a little bit wide, and Namasko pushes it over for a corner. Peranu stood his ground to force him out wide, and the angle was tight. Błaszczykowski with the ball in. Cleared up in the air and pushed away by the goalkeeper. Błaszczykowski to deliver back in once again, and the header turned in this time by Wawrzyniak for his first international goal. Błaszczykowski's ball in. Wawrzyniak finally seals it for Poland.
Well, the other Group H action tonight was in the Stadio Olimpico, San Marino versus Montenegro, and it took Montenegro less than 24 minutes to go in front. Deflected shot by Jovetic, which gave the goalkeeper no chance, off the upright, and Djordjevic with one of the easiest goals he'll ever score. San Marino didn't play at the weekend. They are the smallest nation in Europe, and they were 2-0 down just 60 seconds later. This time Bekaraj with the tap in after a lovely little back heel from Jovetic, the skipper. Montenegro drew 2-2 at home to Poland in their opening game, and they were 3 up just 5 minutes after the restart. Nice move this, but rather too easy. Djordjevic with the final pass through to Bekaraj for his second of the night, and Montenegro's third. San Marino, remember, have never won a competitive game. This is the first ever meeting between these two sides, and a pretty one-sided one it was as well. Elsad Zeratic made it 4-0 with 20 minutes left to play. Precise strike from distance. Simoncini in the San Marino goal, the proverbial duck in a shooting range. 2 goals followed, both scored by the substitute Delabasic. First when Jovetic's shot was saved, Delabasic first to react for a very simple fifth. And it would get worse as well for San Marino. This Montenegro's second World Cup qualifying campaign. They almost made the finals of Euro 2012. They lost to Czech Republic in a playoff game, and this ended up being the biggest win in their brief history. A 6th goal towards the end. Nice finish as well from Delabasic after Kazalika's excellent delivery from the left-hand side. San Marino 0, Montenegro 6, the final score at the Stadio Olimpico. So Montenegro with 4 points now from their 2 games. It's a 3-way tie at the top. England held surprisingly by Ukraine. It needed a late Frank Lampard penalty to get a point. Poland also with 4. England at home to San Marino next on October the 12th.
But in Group G, no one made a more impressive start to their campaign than Bosnia, who hit Liechtenstein for 8 last Friday. So this would have been a bit of a shock, just 4 minutes into their first home tie of the campaign in Zenica, and they trailed to a goal from Latvia, from the skipper, Kaspars Gorks, cropping up at the back post when the corner was swung in, headed on by Rytis Kralkis, and Gorks turned it in. But it didn't take too long for Bosnia to get back on terms, and Kralkis, who played the part in that goal, was the villain this time. Rather clumsy challenge on Edin Dzeko, but still looks a rather soft penalty. Dzeko going down, pointed to the spot, the referee, and Zvezdan Mazimovic did the rest. He'd scored twice in that big win on Friday, and he was off and running again with the penalty sending the keeper the wrong way. And Sefet Susic's side were back on terms inside 12 minutes. That's the way it stayed until shortly before half-time, when they were able to extend their lead. Dzeko with the run into the box, pulling it back, eventually controlled and finished by Miralem Pjanic for 2-1. Exuberant scenes in Zenica, a big crowd, and they believe that their team can have an impact in this campaign, and they've certainly started brightly enough. And now they had the lead at half-time. Well, that proved the end of Latvia's resistance, really. They struggled to create too many meaningful chances themselves in the second half. They fell further behind inside the first 10 minutes of this second period. Pjanic doing well, winning the ball and turning it across for Masimovic to add his second of the night and 4th of the campaign so far. The defending looking a little sluggish, and Masimovic took full advantage. And it wasn't going to get any better for the Latvians, who'd led in their first game at home to Greece, only to concede twice and lose. This is deep in stoppage time. The Bosnians making absolutely certain some very, very poor Latvian defending, and Dzeko turned it in. Bosnia have never won the first 2 games of a qualifying campaign, but they have now, and they've scored 12 goals in the process. They look pretty impressive. A 4-1 win tonight.
Well, in the same group this evening, Greece took on Lithuania, this match in Piraeus. And Greece were the first to threaten it. It was an excellent save from goalkeeper Karsa Marques from Ninis's free kick. Lithuania, who drew at home to Slovakia last Friday. 5 minutes before the break, Fortunis shot was really tame effort, really decent enough save. They were just concerned about getting to the break at 0-0. Lithuania, which they managed. Into the second period then, Greece had virtually all the possession, all the chances. Another fine save. Castle Marcus having a bit of a game in goal for Lithuania. It was Mitroglu's header. He will feel he should have scored. The breakthrough though came 55 minutes in. The ball coming back off the post from Mitroglu, and then Tizolis feeding Ninis, who finally broke the deadlock. Precise finish into the corner as well. Greece attempting to qualify for back-to-back World Cup finals. Lithuania, of course, have never qualified. Well, there's games where the Greeks thought the breakthrough was never going to come, but eventually it did, courtesy of Ninis. And one led to two, as is so often the case. Mitroglu, who'd come off the bench, again very heavily involved, nicely tucked away the second international goal of the Olympiacos striker's career, and no way back for Lithuania. Looks like he'll probably get a start when hostilities resume again in October. Final score in Piraeus, it finished Greece 2, Lithuania 0.
Well, Slovakia drew 1-1 at Lithuania in their Group G opener on Friday, and were fully expected to take the full 3 points against Liechtenstein. They started well. Bakos with the opportunity, but the shot was well saved by Peter Jela. Really should have done better, but let's give credit to the keeper. Half an hour later, Slovakia did take the lead. Vladimir Weiss on the right-hand side. The cutback and the twice-taken shot from Marek Zapata. 2 bites of the cherry at the second attempt. Zapata made it 1-0. He did score at the weekend against Lithuania. Just before half-time, Slovakia had another chance to increase their lead. Marek Hamsik with his header crashing against the crossbar. Zapata with a wonderful free kick from the right. It was all Slovakia. Liechtenstein barely got outside of their own half. Once again, Hamsik trying his luck from distance, but the Napoli star was denied on this occasion. But the pressure had to tell. Liechtenstein with a truly dreadful record. They were beaten 8-1 by Bosnia last time out, and they conceded again at 12 minutes before full-time. Hamsik finding Miroslav Stoch, his effort rolling towards the line. Martin Jakubko sliding in to make it 2. Comfortable for Slovakia against Liechtenstein.
In Group G then, wins for Bosnia, Slovakia and Greece, and it's the haves and the have-nots so far. Bosnia with 2 wins, Greece with 2 wins, Slovakia in contention too. Something we'll have to give on the 12th of October when Greece meet Bosnia. In Group F, Eli Gutman's Israel side hosted Russia at Ramat Gan following their hard-fought 1-1 draw in Azerbaijan. Fabio Capello's team began their campaign with a regulation 2-0 win over Northern Ireland last Friday, but they will probably require all 3 points to keep pace with Portugal at the top of this section. Commentary comes from Dan Roebuck.
Russia were impressive against Northern Ireland on Friday, a 2-0 success, and they're looking to take the game to Israel here. Challenge coming in, bad one as well. Tal Ben Haim penalised for the poor challenge on Kurzhikov. See what Kurzhikov can do with this free kick. He's been in fantastic form for his club. Oh, and he's got one for his country. Fantastic strike. It's his 20th international goal. He's already netted 6 times for Zenit this season. It's a poor challenge, and suddenly Israel are under pressure once again. Bistrov and Shirokov looking to combine here. The shot is blocked and the follow-up is in. Kokorin, the Dynamo Moscow man, has doubled Russia's advantage here. Touch of fortune about the way that it came to him, but that's a smart finish. First goal for Russia. Israel have been second best in all departments so far. They were poor in their previous fixture against Azerbaijan on Friday. They could only draw 1-1, and they're in a mess at the back once again here. Shot coming into that near post. It was a comfortable save in the end from Dudo Arte. The shimmy and shuffle from Kurzhakov, who's been a real live wire. Israel looking to reduce the deficit here. The shot hits into the turf and onto the top of the crossbar. Radi it was that got hold of it. Didn't connect exactly as he wanted, but it could have caused problems. Nacho with the free kick, looking for Ben Bassat, just over. Wicked ball in from Bebas Nacho. Ben Bassat just over with the header, the substitute doing well. Smedel looking to come forward here for Russia. Just been forced back so far in this second half. That's a neat effort just wide. Substitute doing well. Certainly worth an effort. Oarte already beaten twice in this game. Looking to just place the ball into the far corner. Russia got a fantastic record over the last 18 months or so. Just the one defeat, that was in the Euros. That's a decent ball in, and it's 3. Kurzhakov finishing once more, a double for him, 3 for Russia. Feyzulin with the inch-perfect ball, and a perfectly timed run as well. Kurzhakov onside and on the volley. Surely now the points are safe for Russia. Once again, Israel are caught at the back here, and there's plenty of options. Samadov. 3 inside the penalty area, waiting for the pullback. Feyzulin! That's 4, thoroughly deserved. Scored against Northern Ireland, and he's done it again here. 4-0 Russia. Well, Northern Ireland lost 2-0 against Russia on Friday and were desperate to get some points against Luxembourg, but Luxembourg themselves were no pushovers in their match against Portugal. However, it was Michael O'Neill's side that took the lead. A delightful finish from the Rangers man, Dean Shields. Great invention here by Johnny Evans to put Shields through. And Shields lifting the ball over Joubert to make it 1-0. It was all Northern Ireland in the first half, and they felt that they had another. The ball crossing the line, but you could hear the whistle ahead of it. Lafferty with the foul. Evans heads home, but Lafferty, unfortunately, from a Northern Ireland point of view, was penalised just for the shove you saw there before Evans nodded into the corner, and it was not allowed. Northern Ireland were desperately searching for a second, but a good save from Joubert on this occasion denied Lafferty. Just round the post, a well-struck effort from the striker. Still Northern Ireland looked to get that all-important second goal, but Luxembourg was standing firm, and Joubert in particular playing out of his skin, this time denying Jamie Ward. Northern Ireland were getting closer. Joubert eventually beaten, this time the post saved, the visitors. Chris Brunt hitting the post after good work from Davis. Joubert no chance on this occasion, but then the shock. Daniel Damotta, who scored against Luxembourg with an absolutely fantastic strike, this time got a helping hand off Ryan McGibbon, a wicked deflection. Roy Carroll, no chance whatsoever, and with 5 minutes remaining, Luxembourg unbelievably were level. They've lost 91 of their 102 qualifiers prior to this one, but they managed to grab an unexpected point at Windsor Park. It finished 1-1.
Well, Portugal were given an early wake-up call by Luxembourg in their opening fixture, but ended taking the points with a 2-1 win. Tonight, Azerbaijan represented a step up in opposition for Paolo Bento's men. Dan O'Hagan watched this one in Braga.
Ball through here to Ronaldo, clever touch. Here's Ronaldo again for Portugal. Ronaldo, Elder Postiga against the crossbar. Oh, the chance is coming already thick and fast here. Elder Postiga, the match winner on Friday, so close. Nani Now Jean Moutinho from range, oh, fingertips. Agayev, magnificent save. That was really flying. In goes the cross, Bruno Alves, turned away. Here's Jean Moutinho, deflection, oh, crossbar again. Oh, the woodwork. Here's an Azerbaijan fan. Twice now the bar has kept out the Portuguese. This welter of chances just won't drop, will it? Here's Ronaldo. Ronaldo. Elder Postiga, brilliant. Elder Postiga still. Oh, the post this time. In this first half, 3 times the woodwork has denied the Portuguese. Remarkable. There's Nani. And again. And Shukurov can't clear. Ronaldo on the turn. Well, he can't believe it. I can't believe it. 4 times the woodwork has foiled Portugal. Well, can they find a way through now? Here's Ronaldo. Ronaldo! Side netting. Well, his rueful smile paints a picture of the night. A night of Portuguese frustration. Elder Postiga. Now Ronaldo. Deflection. Oh, here's Guerrero! At last! Let the pressure go. On for seconds, his second touch, and Silvestre Varela has got the go-ahead goal at last for Portugal. It has been coming, hasn't it just? Now Nani in full flow, Nani, Postiga, Ronaldo, and blocked away in the post again. Fabio Coentrao denied this time. Agayev's knees in the post for a 5th time. They could have had tonight 4, 5, 6, 7 and the rest, couldn't they? Jean Moutinho, Ronaldo, Medvedev away. Ronaldo's overhead kick, and the goalkeeper there makes a meal of that. Ronaldo there improvised, it was almost effective. Coentrao. Now João Pereira. On to Ramirez. In goes the cross, Ronaldo, Postiga! The wait for his second goal is over. Elder Postiga won the game in Luxembourg on Friday. Now on Tuesday he wraps up 3 more points for Portugal. In goes the cross, Bruno Alves! Buries the header and buries Azerbaijan.
Well, here's how Group F looks. Comfortable win for Portugal in the end. We saw the Northern Ireland draw and the Israel defeat. Russia and Portugal lead the way.
Well, Switzerland defeated Slovenia away 2-0 on Friday and were favourites to pick up the 3 points against Albania. And they took the lead just 22 minutes in. A goal from Shaqiri, who's been in fantastic form for his country over the last 12 months or so. Now at Bayern Munich, of course. He doesn't need a second invitation to score from a situation like this, and a fantastic finish from a young player who we'll see more and more of, I'm sure. Terrific finish, easily beating Sane Uchkani. Switzerland have won their last couple of games, but Albania were lively from long range. Bulko on this occasion, well saved by Diego Benaglio. Switzerland always dangerous coming forward. This time it was Xhaka with a curling effort that was just wide. It's just 1 of 9 in 2011, but they've lost 2 of the last 5, winning 3 so far in this calendar year, Switzerland. And Albania did win their Group E opener on Friday, beating Cyprus. The shot on this occasion was eventually cleared, and then the foul on Valentin Stocker, and the referee pointing to the spot to give Switzerland a chance to double their advantage midway through the second half, and it was taken comfortably by Gökhan Inler of Napoli. His 60th appearance for his country. Just a 6th goal, though. 1 or 2 late scares, though, for the home side, as Albania looked to hit back. Sanat with a shot from distance. Eventually, it was claimed at the second attempt by Benalia, who wasn't happy about the follow-up challenge here, but it was a ferocious shot initially, nearly reducing the deficit. And then very late on, deep cross from Agoli on the left-hand side was headed goalwards by Andy Lila, but eventually just dribbled wide, and the danger was over. And Switzerland claimed the full 3 points, easy in the end, by 2-0.
Here's the situation in Group E then. Switzerland, maximum points. So going really well. Iceland, Albania, Cyprus and Norway all have 3. And in Group C tonight, Sweden beat Kazakhstan 2-0. Germany won narrowly in Austria. The Germans lead the way with maximum points.
So that's it for this World Cup 2012 Superfeed highlight show. It's been a good night for the big guns, Holland, Russia, Portugal and the champions, Spain. And a very good night indeed for the former Yugoslavian countries, Bosnia, Serbia, Montenegro, Croatia and Macedonia, delivering 18 of tonight's 70 goals. Be sure to join us again for more qualification action on the 12th of October. But it's goodbye for now.